Hey there, Racer52 here. When I started out with this electronic drum stuff, I couldn't afford the high dollar roll and drum kit. So I started building my own drums, following the eDrum's website and other searches on the internet. I found people like Hellfire Drums and eDrums.com really helped me along my way. And what I'd like to do is show you how you can make one of these drums. What I've done is I went out and bought some of these really inexpensive child-sized drum sets, and I've converted them into electronic drums. This one here is a sample from a Ludwig youth drum kit. These are drum sets that retail new for about $250 for the complete little drum set. 2 toms, a floor tom, a bass drum, a snare drum, some junky cymbals. This is a completed product, and I'm going to plug it in and let you hear what it sounds like. Just like this drum kit here is. These are youth drums that have been converted to electronic drums. This is a 13-inch snare, youth snare drum, 8-inch tom, 10-inch tom, 14-inch floor tom. These are the parts you need for one version of conversion. The latest that I've heard of was from Chromeboy and J-Man Word. These are 2 users at eDrums.com. They took the concept that Hellfire was using, where Hellfire used a cake pan as a basic drum, and then laid a drum head over that and mounted this in a wooden board and created his own electronic drum, mounting the trigger mechanism in here. So if you go to hellfiredrums.com, you can see that. Well, that thought inspired one of the other drummers, Chromeboy on eDrums, and he thought he had some cake pans that his wife was throwing away, and he noticed that the cake pan would fit right inside of a drum. And it works out that a 10-inch drum needs a 9-inch cake pan, and that scale, that comparison continues on up the scale. So if you have a 13-inch drum, you're going to need a 12-inch cake pan. On the general market, you can find 9-inch cake pans as a pair, nested together. This is one of them, the other one's inside the drum already. To get the other sizes, you'll probably need to order them from a professional cake baking supply house. And they have wedding cake pans that come in every inch size. So you can buy for your 13-inch drum, you can buy a 12-inch cake pan. For your 8-inch drum, you can buy a 7-inch cake pan, and so on. It may take some clearancing depending on the construction of your drum. You may have to grind or file away a portion of the pan for it to fit in. In this case, this particular drum here just fits in perfectly, doesn't need anything. What's nice about it, or another nice thing about it, is that if you're constructing drums from a technique where you take a full-size tom-tom, cut it in half and make 2 electronic drums, well, using this method here, when you drop in your electronics on this cake pan mounting system, the bottom side of the drum is going to be nice and clean, which will allow you to mount or stack drums. If you had nested sized drums, you can stack them, or just for handling, you're not worried about damaging the internal electronics because they're going to be mounted on the inside of the drum. So let's see how this is done. The general concept is you're going to take a drum. This particular drum is a 10-inch drum. This is a 9-inch cake pan. You're also going to need some sort of mounting platform for your trigger cone. You need to mount that in there and have it adjustable in height so that the top of the cone is in contact with the drum head. What I used, I found these aluminum cover plates for electrical outlets. It's an outdoor blank cover plate that is used to cover electronic conduit junction boxes. So I use that. I'm going to mount my cone on top of that with a trigger. So there, of course, would have to be a trigger underneath there. There's my piezo trigger, a cone. This will be mounted on some bolts bolted to here. So we would also need a way of mounting the bolts. What I'm going to do is use these rubber nutserts, drill a hole in the cake pan, push these up to the bottom, then run a bolt in it, and that's going to give me a stud platform that I can run extra nuts on to set the height of my platform. You're also going to need some wiring to make some connections, and you're going to need a TRS or tip, ring and sleeve or stereo jack. This is a real cool one. It's a long bodied, with the type that's used for wooden paneling. If you have a thick wood panel console or a guitar, they use these in guitars and mount all through the wood bodywork of the guitar. It even has a little fitting on there, a recess for a guitar strap. Looks really nice on the finished product. You're also going to need some kind of wiring guide to show you how to wire up your triggers. This is also available at eDrums.com. To show you a finished product, this is what I just finished. I put mesh heads on the bottom and the top. These are do-it-yourself homemade mesh heads. This is the jack we've connected. Inside the drum is mounted all the hardware. I'm going to pause for a moment and open that up.